All right, let's take some time to talk about two-dimensional arrays, yeah? So we're calling them two-dimensional arrays, or they are called two-dimensional arrays because we'll be talking about an array or arrays that are inside an array. You get the point? Matter of fact, let's just probably not talk about arrays, but let's start by talking about the part of a table like this that has got multiple rows and multiple columns, yeah? So if my table has got one column, that means that's a one-dimensional array. But as my table has got multiple columns like this, that's going to be coming through to be a two-dimensional array, right? So when we have a table that is got 6 rows like this, starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and columns 3 starting from 0, 1, 2, and 3. By now you should be knowing that when we are counting elements or index positions in an array, we start from index position number 0. So the first column is column 0, second column is column 1, third column is column 2. Then again, even my rows, they're going to be coming through with the same notion. Row number 0 is the first row, row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, row number 4, row number 5. Yeah? So if this is my table and I'm calling it my 2D array with these elements, if I want to write this in programming now, I'm going to be having a one array that is called my 2D array. But inside that array, each row will be forming an array inside the main array called my 2D. I hope that is making sense. The name of my array is called my 2D array. But inside that array, that's when I'm going to be having these rows coming through as arrays now. So 2D array, it's an array inside an array. So if I am to write it in code, I'm going to be seeing something like this. My main array here is going to be starting from here ending to here, right? But inside that array now, each and every element inside the main array is also an array, is a 1D array. So I have 1D arrays that are actually elements inside the main array, making it a two-dimensional array. So I had just written it like this so as for you to quickly pick that we have how many rows, how many columns. But in a typical program code or in a typical examination paper, you might actually see these coming through in sequence, like first row like this, second row coming through just next in sequence rather than in this state, in a list state like this. So this is the first row with the first column, second column, and third column. Second row, first column, second column, third column. Third row, fourth row, fifth row, and sixth row. That's basically what we have. So if you want to put that probably side to side, you will see that it's going to be coming through as perfect as it is like. So we have 1, 3, and 5, 1, 3, and 5, 6, 8, and 2, 6, 8, and 2, 11, 12, and 3, 11, 2, 2, 3, 3, 11, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and 9, 9, 7, 7, 8, 8, and 9, 9, 100, 111, and 222. That's basically what we have here. So that's how we deal with that's how we create our 2D arrays. So 2D does not necessarily mean that there are only 2 columns. There might be multiple columns, 20 columns, 100 columns, a million columns. We don't care. But as long as there are multiple columns, there are more than 1 columns, it means that that's a 2D array. So if I execute this, if I run this and I want to access maybe the first element here, which is 1, I'm going to be writing the name of my array, which is my 2D array like this, right? Then 1 is sitting on column number 0. So this is what I will indicate, this column number 0. And the row, it's row number 0 as well. That's where my 1 is. So if I just write it like this now, I'll be able to access the value of 1, which is the element, the first element, first row, which is row number 0, and column 0, which is column number 0. Column 0, which is, again, the first column. So running that, I'm going to be getting my solution is that. If I want to access maybe 5 is on row number 0, which is the first row, but column number 2. So I can just come in here and actually type it like this. It's row number 0, so these are rows. the first element that you're going to be putting here is going to be the rows, then this is going to be the columns. So if I write column number 2 like that, I'm going to be getting the value of 5. That's basically what I have. Yeah, so that's how I can actually be able to access my elements that are in the that are in the 2D array. If I want to print each element one by one, I can go ahead and write this in a loop, right? Like for index, I will put in starting from in range of the columns of the rows. How many rows do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So in range of 6. I want to go ahead and print the elements that are in each row. So I need to put, oh, this is supposed to be index. This is supposed to be index like this. So I need to go ahead now and write another loop again that is inside that loop. So for, let's say, my column in range of 3, since I have 3 elements in range of 3 like this. I want to go ahead, if I say in range of 3, which means I'm going to be taking 0, 1, and 2, not reaching to the upper limit. I want to go ahead and print the value of, what do I want to print? I want to print the value of my index, like this, my array like this. I want position of index, which is the row, right? Index position again of column like this. That's how I will get all the elements out. Okay, like this. So if I go ahead and actually run this code, I will see all my elements coming through the way that they are supposed to be coming through. Oh, I haven't closed that. Okay, let's see. I have to close this like this. Then if I run this now, I'm going to be seeing all my elements coming through. 1, 3, 5, first row. Second row, 6, 8, 2. Third row, fourth row, fifth row, and the sixth row. That's basically how I can navigate to access all the elements that are in my array. Depending on how the program wants you to have that, to present them, maybe they would want to have them probably each row coming through as one line. You can actually play around with that, doing string concatenation to actually present it like that. But basically, the 2D, the embedded loop aspect is supposed to be shown because you are visiting elements that are in a 2D array. If I'm visiting my elements that are in a 1D array, I just need only one loop. But if I am visiting my elements that are inside now the 2D array, I need to go ahead and actually navigate and traverse using a 2D, using embedded loops. You get the point? All right. So if I want to go ahead and probably change the value of 55 here, let's say I want to change it to 555, 555, or 54 maybe. So I just need to know the name of the array that I'm actually storing my values. I need to know again the row in which this value is. 0, 1, 2, 3 is the third row. Is the fourth row like this. Then I need to know the column. Again, is the column 0, 1, column number 1. So I need to go ahead and give it a new value, which is 54. If I enter that, then if I then ask again to present that array now, I'm going to be seeing now there's no longer 55, but there's now 54 right there. So that's how you actually go ahead and actually change the values again that are in a 2D array. You need to know the column in which it is stored. You need to know the row in which it is stored. So always you need to use 2 brackets here whenever you want to access individual elements. Yeah. So if I am to say row, this 3 is standing for rows, then this 1 is standing for the columns. So in your mind, you're supposed to be having a picture of how a 2D array looks like, right? This is this. So this is supposed to be in your head whenever you are dealing with a 2D array like this. Know that you're talking about rows and columns. And this is column number 0, 1, 2, and 3, same as the rows as well.